Good evening, my lovely friends. Sanbona. I hope you guys are doing well. So, today we are going to look at the road saf- sorry the road signs, but before we jump to the road signs, I want us to quickly look at the overview. Okay, so I'm going to cover what is important, but firstly, this there is no need for us to cover that. They're saying here, before you start your driving lessons on a public road, you need to present the instructor with your official learner's license. You can apply to be tested, blah blah blah. So that is not really important, because already you know what to do. Okay, you apply for your learners, and your learners will help you to start with your driving lessons. Okay, so it's very important to understand the structure of your test. That your test will cover the following: rules of the road traffic signs, signals and markings, the use of controls of a vehicle. Those are the three things that will be covered on your learner's license test. Okay, so this is important. How long is the learner's license valid for? How long is a learner's license valid for? The learner's license is valid for a period of 24 months. 24 months. I then always say that it's very important not to confuse the 24 months with the 12 months. The 12 months for the vehicle license. 12 months is for your vehicle license. Okay? License. Whatever. Alright. Vehicle license is 12 months, and then the learner's license is 24 months. Okay. And then they then say, what is the minimum age requirement to obtain a learner's license? The minimum age requirement. So it's 16 years for motorcycles that are 25cc or less without a sidecar. You need to be 16 years. Light motor vehicle, not cycle, sorry. Light motor vehicles, not more than 3,500 kgs, you need to be 17 years. So this code is what would be known as your code 8. Your code 8. So when you're applying for this, or rather when you're using the app to practice, or when you're applying, you'll see code 1, you see code 2, you see code 3. So code 1 is this one for the motorcycles. Code 2 is your code 8. Code 3 is this one, code 14. All right. So you need to, code 10 and code 14, you need to be 18 years and above for you to get the code 10, code 14 learners. Okay. Now let's go on to the disqualifying factors for obtaining a learner's license as per legislation. The disqualifying factors. When and how will you be disqualified? The first point, if you have been disqualified by a court of law or competent authority from driving a motor vehicle, and that order is still valid. So if there has been an order from the court of law that disqualifies you from driving a motor vehicle, then you may not get a learner's license. If you already hold a valid license to drive the same class of a vehicle, you already hold a valid license to drive the same class of a vehicle, then you may not drive. You may not get the learner's license. Sorry. If your license to drive has been suspended or the cancellation period has not yet expired. Your license to drive has been suspended or the cancellation period has not yet expired. Addiction to the use of any drug or the excessive use of intoxicating liquor. You may not. And then if you are suffering from one of the following diseases: Which are those? Which are those? Which are those? Which are those? Those we're talking of: uncontrollable epilepsy, sudden attacks of disabling giddiness or fainting due to hypertension, any form of mental illness to such an extent that it is necessary to be detained, supervised, and controlled and treated as a patient in terms of Mental Health Act 1973, number blah blah blah. Right. And then any condition causing muscular coordination problems, uncontrolled diabetes mellitus, defective vision in accordance with a prescribed standard, certified by a registered optometrist. Okay. Any other disease or physical defect which is likely to render you incapable of effectively driving and controlling a vehicle without endangering the safety of the public. Deafness is not considered a defect. Deafness is not considered a defect. You must remember that deafness is not considered a defect. People who are deaf, they can't articulate, right? They can't hear. They can't hear. Those who can't talk, they are mute. Okay. Right. Now, what will I need when I apply? We're not going to cover that because you are not going to be asked that on your test. Now we jump straight to the structure of your test. You must understand that the rules of the road will have 28 marks. Your pass mark is 22. Road signs, signals, and markings, you have 28 marks. Pass mark is 23. Then the controls of the vehicle, it's 8 marks. Pass mark, it's 6. So this then what happens, or what could happen if you happen to get 21 here instead of 22, and then here you get 28, and then there you get 8. You see, you've done exceptionally well here, but because you have failed this one, you will fail your test. You hear me? Understand that? So you fail each section, you fail the test completely. Right. And then we go to now the controls of the vehicle. So it's very important to then understand that you will be given this illustration. You will have this illustration. It will be numbered, not labeled. It will be numbered 1 to 11. It will be numbered 1 to 11. So you have to know which one is a review mirror. Number 5 is what? Is an indicator. Excuse me. Number 4 is the steering wheel, exterior mirror, and so forth. Okay. What then do you need? You need this table. You need to understand this table, right? This table to say that, okay, they say here, to check if it is safe to move, you must use your mirrors. Mirrors, if you refer to the illustration, mirrors is number 1 and 3. You want to indicate your intention to change direction or to turn. You use the indicator, which is number 5. You want to turn or change direction. You use the steering wheel, which is number 4. You want to ensure that the parked vehicle remains stationary. You use the parking brake, which is number 7. You want to select a gear. You use clutch and gear lever, which is number 6 and 8. You want to increase speed. You use accelerator, which is number 10. You want to stop or reduce speed suddenly. You use foot brake, which is number 9. You see, these controls, they say refer to illustration. Which one is number 1? Which one is number 5? Which one is number 4? Okay. Now, they're saying here, if you want to negotiate a sharp turn, there's a sign which warns you of a sharp bend. Okay? Sorry. There's a sign which warns you of a sharp bend. So it's like this. sharp bend. Okay, so when you're approaching, when you see this sign, that means you then are about to negotiate a sharp turn. So these are the controls that you use. Firstly, let me say this. All these numbers are correct there. Except here, the accelerator is incorrect. You don't accelerate. The accelerator is incorrect in this instance. It's not supposed to be written there, the accelerator. Then the gear lever. You can't use a gear lever alone. You must use clutch and gear lever. All right. So those are the controls that are needed for you to negotiate a sharp turn. Rear view mirror, exterior mirrors, indicator, clutch and gear lever, steering wheel, and instead of accelerator, you use foot brake. Foot brake. So it's very important then to understand this. After erasing, I'm going to leave this a bit so that if you want to take a screenshot, you can take a clean screenshot. Okay, now let's go down to the motorcycle. I'm passing it because right now we're focusing on motor vehicle. Right. Then we come to the road sign. The road signs. So with the road signs, I'm going to put an emphasis here. They are categorized in a way that you have control signs, you have command signs, you have reservation signs, but they are all under regulatory signs. The ones I just counted are all under regulatory signs. So you have to then understand how to identify regulatory signs. How to identify control signs. Control signs, then, when we read there, say that these signs, they tell you where to stop, where to yield, in which direction to drive, and what special rules apply. Permanent control signs are red and white, and sometimes they come with black symbols. They are red and white, and they come with black symbols. The most important thing here is to understand that they tell you where to stop, where to yield, in which direction to drive, and what special rules apply. Okay. And then what is also important is that to understand that they're saying here permanent control signs are red and white. Sometimes they come with black symbols. They are red and white and they come with black symbols. And they come in a variety of shapes. You will see as we go down that they are the only signs that come in different shapes. They come in different shapes. Like you look to say the shape of a stop sign is not the same as the shape of the yield sign. Okay. So then also the function is different. So the control signs, the stop sign is not the same as the yield sign. It's not the same as the yield to oncoming traffic. Yield to oncoming traffic is different. It's not the same as pedestrian priority. So that's how you will see your control signs. But the most important thing is the color codes. The color codes, red and white, and they come in different shapes. So they tell you where to stop. Yield, direction to drive, special rules. Okay, that's what you need to know and understand about the control signs. Now if we move all the way down now to the command signs. The command signs again, the command signs, they are still part of the regulatory signs. When we read the description that we are given there, these signs, they are there to give instructions. There are two types of command signs. Signs that specify an action that must be taken by drivers, and signs that specify which class of road users must use a specified section of the roadway that others may not. Okay, those are the command signs, but they left important information also. That command signs, you will see them with blue background and the sign is written in white. Blue background and the sign is written in white. Okay. Those are your command signs. They tell you the action that you must take and the vehicle class that should drive there. The blue background, the sign is written in white. Then the shape is a circle. The shape is a circle because we do have other blue signs that are written in white. But here, you must know that the sign is written in white and the shape is a circle. All right. Now we go all the way down to the prohibition signs. So prohibition signs, they are just the complete opposite of the command signs. Prohibition, you are prohibited from doing what is written on the board. Says you may not turn right, you may not turn left, blah blah blah, and so forth. Okay, so how are you going to see the prohibition sign? You see them with a red circle. They are circled with red. The sign is red and white, yes, but the red is just the borders. It's a circle that has red borders. You know that it's a prohibition sign. Okay, that is a prohibition sign. Okay, and then we go all the way down to reservation signs. So you see now you find another blue board written in white, but now it's a reservation sign. So the reservation sign is there to reserve what? They are reserving lanes, they are reserving roadways, they are reserving parking areas, and then these rectangular blue and white signs they tell you that that a particular lane, portion of a roadway or parking area is reserved for the use of specific class of vehicles. Okay, so they are reserving lanes, they are reserving roadways, and they are reserving parking. The lane reservation, you'll see it with these yellow dotted lines, these ones. But this one, lane reservation, this one tells you that the special lane begins because of how those lines start. It's the beginning of the special lane. Okay, for buses. So it's very easy. R is for roadway. Okay, R is roadway. P is for parking. R reserves the roadway. P reserves the parking. Okay, right. Okay, R roadway, P parking. Okay, then we all go all the way down. These are still part of the prohibition signs, as I did explain that you have red borders. It's circled with red. Then you know it's a prohibition sign. However, these ones, they talk about the limit. So you have the maximum speed limit. You may not exceed 100 when you are driving here. You have the temporary height limit, 4.42. So that means that your vehicle, the height of your vehicle when you are driving here should not be the height that is above 4.42. You have the 12T. Those are the vehicle, or that is a vehicle that weighs 12 tons and above. Your vehicle should not be above 12 tons. Then you have the width limit. Uvuleka imoto yakho, isinqa semoto yakho. The bums of your vehicle should not be above 2.1 meters. And then the length of your vehicle should not be above 15 meters. And then we talk about the gross axle mass. The axle mass of your vehicle should not be above 2 tons. And then that equal sign tells you that the access is limited to authorized vehicles only. Let's say we say this is a VIP parking, or we say this is a Mercedes-Benz parking only. So if you do not drive a Mercedes-Benz, you may not enter there because you are not authorized. Then we come to these comprehensive signs, the comprehensive signs. So the comprehensive signs is basically just one sign with a lot of rules attached to it. It has rules. It's just one sign, but it means a lot of things. Like for instance, the residential area. Access is permitted, but you may not drive through a residential area without stopping to break your journey. Number 2, you may not exceed 30 kilometers per hour within a residential area. You may not exceed 30 kilometers per hour within a residential area. Number 3, you must give way to all pedestrians as they have right of way. And then number 4, vehicles that weigh more than 3,500 kgs or that has more than 10 seats for passengers are not allowed in a residential area except to gain local access for purpose of loading or offloading goods. So every time when you see this sign, you must know that, oh, I'm entering a residential area, okay? And I must not exceed 30 kilometers per hour when I'm driving here. Right. So we say they are part of comprehensive signs. Then you have the dual carriage freeway, of which is your normal freeway that you know, with a lot of vehicles going and on this side of the road, and a lot of vehicles going on the other side of the road. So with the dual carriage freeway, they're saying the following rules apply to all freeways. Number 1, hand signals are not allowed on freeways except in an emergency. So you can't ask for the way using your hand on the freeway. If you are in the far right lane and the driver behind you indicates the intention to overtake, move safely over to the next lane on the left and do not accelerate while being overtaken. So when someone is overtaking you, just give them a space, just a little space, but if it's safe to do so, and you do not have to accelerate. Stopping a vehicle on a freeway is prohibited except to comply with the directions of the traffic officer or road sign. In the event of an emergency or in a designated stopping area. So you don't just stop your vehicle on the freeway unless there's a traffic officer that says stop, then you stop. And then what I believe to be good news for you as you are preparing for your learners is that learner drivers are allowed on freeways if accompanied by a properly licensed driver. So you can drive from Cape Town to Durban as long as you have someone with a driver's license next to you. Okay. And then the last part here, single carriage freeway. So this is also a freeway, but this one is for the single. It's a single carriage. So the following uses are not allowed on freeways. They are not allowed on freeways. Number 1, pedestrians. Umuntu ohamba ngeenyawo ufuna nivele freeway. Animal drawn vehicles. You see those donkeys that pull trolleys for the guys who are selling coals. Those are animal drawn vehicles that are not allowed there. Animals, unless in a reserved parking or stopping area where they cannot stray onto roadway. Pedal cycles. Motorcycles that are 50cc or less, motor tricycles, motor quad bikes, vehicles that are 230 kgs or less that have been adapted for disabled people, electric motorcycles, tractors, unless they are busy with freeway maintenance. So these are all the uses that are not allowed on the freeway. Now we go down to the D restriction signs. So the D restriction signs, my people, my lovely friends, they are there to cancel restrictions. So a red cross over a road sign indicates that a restriction, a command, or set of regulations no longer applies. This one is no longer applicable. So you'll see with what? Red cross. Then we have these ones, selective restriction signs. So the selective restriction signs, it's what you'll see working as secondary signs. So you'll have a primary sign there on top, and then you have a secondary sign there. Maybe here they say U-turn is prohibited, okay? Then they say from 6 to 9. Okay, so then this would work as your primary sign, and then this as your secondary signs. As I said, that the selective restriction signs, they would work as secondary signs. They work as secondary signs. All right, let's look at the combination, the example there. You see, parking for 60 minutes. This sign, this one, works as a primary sign because it's under what? Reservation signs. Parking for 60 minutes, but this one says what? Requiring a parking fee. Requiring a parking fee. Okay. You park for 60 minutes, but it requires a parking fee. U-turn is prohibited at night. U-turn is prohibited at night. So the U-turn prohibition sign is what? Is your prohibition sign. Then the night condition, you see, is night. So you go on and on and on like that. And then you get to the traffic signals. The traffic signals, okay? Steady red disc, you must stop. You know that. And then when it's flashing red disc, that means the traffic signal is out of order. So it works as a four-way stop. The person who arrived first has a right of way. Steady yellow disc, if you can stop before the line, stop. But if you cannot stop before the line, proceed quickly. And then green means go. Steady bus, steady bus or tram. The steady disc rule apply only to the vehicle, to the class of vehicle shown by the symbol. Okay, whether you're seeing a red bus or yellow bus or green bus, it applies to buses only. This one you'll go, you understand the robots. I'm not going to cover this with you. Oh, folk, the robot is a robot. Maybe what we can look at a little bit is this one. The traffic officers. The first image, number one, he's stopping the vehicles approaching from the front. Then this one at the back. This one, he's stopping both back and front. And then you come to this one, he says you may proceed. And then there he says you may proceed, he's calling them. So there's nothing difficult here with this one. Absolutely nothing difficult. And then you come to the construction guys also. The construction guys, when the flag is up like that and one hand is up, he's stopping who? He's stopping both the traffic. He's stopping both the traffic. He says you should stop. You should stop. And then when the when the flag is going up and down, then it's a warning. It's a warning. It's a warning. Be cautious. Be cautious. Proceed with caution. And then when the flag is down and then he's moving his hand, signaling to you that you may proceed. Okay. And then you have the warning signs. I'm not really going to spend time with the warning signs. I'm going to let you understand what I'm going to tell you right now. That warning signs, you simply see them with what? Red triangle. You simply see them with red triangle. You know that this is a warning sign. Okay, I'm going to hold it here, my lovely people. These are all the road signs that you need for your learner's license test. Oh, except for these ones that we did not cover. Remember, guys, yellow bones are temporary. Any yellow sign is a temporary sign. And temporary signs, they carry the same significance as permanent signs. Right. So what I need you to maybe look at would be this. Okay, this one, These are hazards, guys. These are hazards. There's a danger plate. It's positioned at the place of danger. And then the second one, of which then will be this one, is a sharp curve chevron. Sharp curve. You would normally see these ones if the road is like this. And then they put these ones, a lot of them here, a lot of them there, a lot of them there, a lot of them there, to say that keep on following the direction of the arrow. But in all honesty, with these ones, you're just seeing what? You're just seeing you just follow the direction of the arrow. Except for this one, there is no arrow to follow here, but this one warns you of the railway crossing. If you have that first X and that second arrow thingy, that means there is 2 or more railways that crosses the road. 2 or more railways that crosses the road. Okay, so that's what you need to know. And then this one, you know that this one is what? T-junction. You either going left or right, then this is a dead end. You can't go left, you can't go right, you can't go straight. So you must turn back. This one, road is temporarily closed. So you notice that you have the yellow signs there, and we did say yellow, it's temporary, okay, right. And then you have the red and white stripes. So the row is, you find them on the boom control. Boom. Okay. Right. So that's it, again, my lovely friends. That's it, my lovely people. Oh, then there are these, the information signs, and you'll find them on your exam. Take a screenshot quickly here. Take a screenshot. Let me do this. Tatala, tatala, tatala. Okay. The first ones, these are information signs for your information, FYI. Okay, these ones, they are called high-speed freeway exit countdown signs. They're saying each bar represents 100 meters. So high-speed freeway exit countdowns. In 300 meters, you are getting off the freeway. In 200 meters, you are getting off the freeway. In 100 meters, you are getting off the freeway. 3, 2, 1. They are counting. It's a countdown. All right. Okay. And then this one, the yellow one, a temporary sign. Then these signs, they are called cul-de-sac signs. Cul-de-sac signs. They are telling you that there is no way through. There is no way through. Where there is red, there is no way through. Danger, there is dead end there. Then this is known as the priority sign. So all the signs that I've covered are the signs that you should expect for your test, or rather on your test. So thank you for tuning in. See you guys next time. Fork.